What actor or actress stupidly left a movie franchise or TV series thinking they were too good for it, only to be never popular again? George Lazenby has to be the top answer. Dude with zero acting experience lands the role of James Bond after Sean Connery, and was offered a multi-film deal to be Bond for the foreseeable future. Then, his agent just totally misguides him, telling him both that it's the summer of love and nobody is going to keep wanting to see spy movies about killing people, but also that since he'd already appeared in a film, he could ask for whatever he wanted and they couldn't turn him down. They brought Connery back for a film instead and Lazenby's acting career basically ended on the spot. Chuck Woolery left Wheel of Fortune only to see Pat Sajak host it for over 40 years. Several of the actors of MASH left early to make it big, none of them really did. Crystal Reed from Teen Wolf. She was so certain she was done she had them kill off her character only for her career to flop outside of Teen Wolf and 10 years later would come back and have them revive her character for the movie. You left Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top. Calculon. My ex-girlfriend was on a soap but as a regular extra. They were starting to give her speaking roles, got her SAG card, etc. Once she got her SAG, she demanded more speaking roles or she was leaving. She never got another role after that. Brian Dunkelman was co-host of Season 1 of American Idol with Seacrest, and then quit. Over the years it has toggled back and forth between whether or not he would have been fired anyway. But in at least one interview he admitted to quitting and then almost becoming suicidal over it. Marcus Chong was Tank in The Matrix. Main character in a huge franchise. He had all of these big ideas about how the movie should be done and how his character should progress. That's fine, but he wouldn't stop pushing them on the directors and producers. When it came time to make Matrix 2 he was not invited back. Dude could have literally just shut up, been cool and thankful, and made huge bank and a bigger career. Katie Holmes took a pass on The Dark Knight to go be in a movie called Mad Money, and like you, I haven't seen it either. Like half the cast of Downton Abbey. Ja Rule was in the first Fast and Furious movie. Ed Skrein left Game of Thrones as Dario Naris thinking that if he starred in the reboot of The Transporter it would spawn sequels. David Caruso leaving NYPD Blue, and Shelley Long leaving Cheers are good examples. Late to the party but Stuart Townsend was the original casting for Aragorn in the LOTR movies, but during pre-production and rehearsals he refused to practice things like swordplay, horse riding, action choreography etc., always responding "you'll get it on the day." Peter Jackson decided he couldn't work with him. Viggo is brought in literally on the first day of shooting and the rest is history. More niche but Michael Shanks leaving Stargate SG-1 only to come back a season later buff as hell. I think he expected to get more roles but at least they let him come back from the dead. Chad Michael Murray on One Tree Hill. Not an answer but an interesting side note. Matt Damon turned down the lead role in Avatar. James Cameron wanted him so badly he offered him 10 of profits but Damon still said no. Film made billions, losing Matt Damon around $250 million. Valerie Harper left her show Valet and they replaced her with Sandy Duncan. Lacey Chabot left Family Guy and was replaced by Mila Kunis, who has made bank between new episodes and syndication. Remember when Katherine Heigl was nominated for an Emmy, and she withdrew herself from the nominees because she felt the writing hadn't been good enough? I feel like her career never recovered from that. She also went on to say she didn't like the film Knocked Up which she starred in. I think talking shit about projects you're involved in is a really good way to burn your bridges. McLean Stevenson from MASH. Edited for format. Nina Dobrev left The Vampire Diaries and Megan Boone left The Blacklist and I haven't seen either of them in much since. Not exactly the same as your question, but Sean Connery turned down the role of Gandalf for $30 million, 15 of profits, which would have got him about $450 million. He said he didn't understand the script. So next time he was offered a script he didn't understand, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he took it, ended up so disappointed in the product that he retired from acting. Terrence Howard was in Iron Man 1 and was going to become War Machine. This was the very start of the Marvel movies, the MCU. He got bounced, I think, for asking for crazy money. Don Cheadle replaced him for Iron Man 2 and all the movies beyond. Jessica Raine from Call the Midwife. From the HBO series Girls, the boyfriend of William's character left abruptly because his agents told him he had to capitalize on the popularity of the show before it ebbed. I don't even remember his name. Adam Driver, on the other hand, stuck it out because he has incredible work ethic and loyalty to the projects he starts. And we all know how that turned out. To be fair to some of the performers who left TV series, the 1-hour format is possibly the most grueling shooting schedule in Hollywood. The leads are often filming 7 days a week with both night and day shots, for almost half the year. If production is not in your backyard, you have to fly and essentially live somewhere else on the few days you get off. Starting or raising a family is difficult, and personal relationships can suffer. If you've already made enough money that you and your family will be taken care of for the rest of your life, why hurt everything for more money? Katie Holmes dropping out of Batman to do a bomb called Mad Money. With Nicole Kidman, the ex-wives of Tom Cruise. Edit: Nicole Kidman was not in Mad Money. My mistake. Katie Holmes turned down a lead in Orange is the New Black. Katie Holmes turned down the role of Buffy in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV series. This kind of happened to Topher Grace from that 70s show. He left to be in Spider-Man 3 and I don't think he was what was wrong with the movie. He's popped up here and there and has steady work, but he definitely didn't launch into stardom. That being said, the latter seasons of that 70s show were just plain bad. And he looks almost identical to the way he looked 20 years ago now that he's in that 90s show. Dude seems to have made out just fine. Geez, BuzzFeed isn't even trying to hide it anymore. Edit: holy shit, my snark is gilded. Thanks guys. I nominate Harrison Ford as the opposite. He hated Star Wars and the character of Han Solo. Thought it was all pop fantasy junk, which, to be fair, it kinda is. But it made him very rich and kept him famous. So he put on the vest and got back into the pilot seat despite strongly disliking the franchise and his character. He even consented to come back for the sequel trilogy despite his age and the fact that he could never spend the money, simply because Star Wars was so big it kept his name in headlines. Rob Morrow from Northern Exposure. A good opposite to this question. Benedict Cumberbatch was doing an excellent radio series called Cabin Pressure. He became big during it but still came back to finish the series. Does anyone remember Ray William Johnson from 3 who left his show to become a big movie star? Isn't that what happened to the actor who played Mark Brandanowitz? Spelling is probably way wrong from Parks and Rec. Dale from Chip and Dale. Dale left the hit show Rescue Rangers to star in Double O Dale, causing a massive fallout between lovable chipmunks Chip and Dale. Chip never recovered and became an insurance salesman, and Dale does press and fan conventions. Tom Hanks left Bosom Buddies and was never heard from again. I know he didn't leave the Twilight movies, but Taylor Lautner was supposed to be the next big action movie star, and outside of being Taylor Swift's boyfriend in that Valentine's Day movie, I've never seen him again. Edit: okay, I get it, he was in some cuckoo British show. But everyone does realize he was last on that show over 5 years ago.